Hey everybody, welcome to the Gadget Inspector channel. Well, today we are checking out a really unique pair of wireless earbuds by a company called mifo. It's the mifo S Sports and Sleep earbuds. Now, they're not only unique aesthetically in the design and how they look, but there's also a really unique feature or use for these earbuds, and you could probably get a little hint of what that is by the name, Sport and Sleep, wink wink. I'm going to tell you more about that a little bit later in the video, but you can probably see that I have them on right now, and you can see this, right? They're really discreet. They fit and seat in your ears really, really well, and they're pretty darn comfortable. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay everybody, let me give you some quick specs. First off, these are going for $139.99 out on Amazon. If you check the description box, you'll find a code that'll get you 20% off, and that code is good through January 31, 2023. They're using Bluetooth 5.2 and have an IP67 rating. That means they're waterproof and can be submerged up to 3 feet for 30 minutes at a time. So if you wanted to use these in the shower, you shouldn't have any problem. Some of you may be wondering if you can swim in these. Personally, I wouldn't, because you've got chlorine, and even if you're in like the ocean, you've got to deal with the salt. So I probably wouldn't, but you probably could based on that rating. The earbuds are touch control, so all you have to do is tap to answer phone calls, adjust the volume, and switch the noise cancellation modes. And more about that in a minute. The buds are advertised to get you up to 7 hours of continuous use. I would expect battery life to be a little bit less than that when you have the active noise cancellation turned on. You can also charge the buds up to 3 times in the case. Now, the advertisements say that you get a total of 40 hours, but they actually mean 20 hours per earbud. So keep that in mind. We're gonna get into a little more detail about this later, but these earbuds have active noise cancellation and something called environmental noise cancellation. So that's ANC and ENC. They're using a total of 6 noise canceling microphones. But again, just to be clear, that's a total of 3 per earbud, not 6 per earbud. Now, in the box, you'll find extra ear tips, a little instructions manual, and a USB charging cable. Very nice packaging, by the way. The charging case is made out of aluminum and has some weight to it. I mean, it really feels substantial when you pick it up. I mean, you definitely feel like you're holding something that's well built. At least that's what it feels like to me. I love it when gadgets don't have that really cheap, lightweight feel to them. There's a button in the front that opens up the clamshell, and then you'll see 3 green LED lights that lets you know how much charge is left. In the back is a USB-C port for charging the case up. Then there's an LED indicator back there as well to let you know that it's charging. Okay, let's talk about the active noise cancellation and environmental noise cancellation features. So ANC involves using those 3 mics I mentioned to listen for certain sound waves and then create sound waves at an equal level to cancel out those other sound waves, right? So it's matching the noise with its own noise. I guess you can think of it like that. So that's for audio coming into the ear. ENC is for phone calls. So it works in a similar way, except it's using the mics to cancel out noise for audio going out, so out to the caller. So what they hear on their end should be clearer and without a lot of outside noise. Other things to note about the ANC feature, there's actually 2 levels of active noise cancellation. There's strong and mild. Now personally, not sure why I would ever use mild. I'm either going to use the strong noise cancellation or transparency mode so that I can hear my surroundings. But once again, that's a unique feature. So if you think that's something you would use, it's there. Now let me say, the ANC is pretty good. It's not as good as something like the Apple AirPods, but it's pretty good. It cancels out a lot of that background noise. So if you're listening to music or a movie or playing a game, you know, if you have a Nintendo Switch and you have these paired to it, you'll pretty much be able to cancel out all that background noise. Now, granted, it has some limits. Don't go standing by, you know, what are those things that break up the ground? Not a sledgehammer. You guys know what I'm talking about. Now, check this out. These are probably the second best fitting earbuds I've ever tried. And I've tested quite a few of these on the channel, and just the way they fit in the ear is, they just sit really, really well. Now I find that my AirPods, they sit in my ear and just feel the most comfortable, but I wore the mifos all day at work, and I didn't find myself having to adjust them much. I didn't find my ear getting irritated, and they just sit in there so well. Every now and then I'll have to adjust them, but for the most part, I felt like they're really comfortable because they're small and they just kind of fit in your ear canal. So no issues with the fit overall with the mifos. Now I mentioned that these things are tiny, so I thought the AirPod Pros were tiny, but you can see here in comparison to the AirPods Pro, the mifos are even smaller than those. Now let's talk a little bit about the look. You may have noticed that these have a pretty unique design, right? Sort of a wallpaper kind of a look. Now, when the folks at mifo reached out to me to do this video, and I saw the various styles that you could get, this is the one I picked because it's different, it's unique. Usually earbuds are just in all black or all white. Now they do offer some more standard colors or designs, I should say, in the mifo S's. But like I said, I thought I'd try something different this time. I thought these were pretty cool. And the earbuds themselves have this same design. Okay, battery life. So the advertisement says you'll get 7 hours. I found that I get about 4.5 hours out of the earbuds before I have to throw them back in the case. All right, but that's with active noise cancellation on for most of that. So I imagine, like I said before, I imagine that does drain the battery a little bit more. So 4 hours, and then you can charge them up in the case. They charge up pretty quick. So you can charge them up to 3 times without having to charge the case. Okay, now let's talk about the most important thing when you're talking about earbuds or headphones, the sound, right? How do they sound? Well, overall, they sound pretty good. Now mifo advertises these to output really powerful bass. I think that's what it says, powerful bass, right? The bass is pretty good. I compared them to my AirPods Pro, and the mifos definitely do have a lot more noticeable bass, which is really, really cool because it's like, how do they get that from these little small speakers? But they're able to do it. I will say though that the sound is a little bit muddy, and when I say muddy, think muffled, but I don't want to mislead you. They sound really good. It's decently clear, but with that increased bass, you can imagine that there would be a little more of a muddy sound. Okay, so that's where that word muddy is coming from. Now I turned on Transformers Dark Side of the Moon, and Optimus Prime's intro, man, his voice was booming in these earbuds. So that was really cool. I was actually getting pretty pumped watching that movie with the mifos. But strangely enough, from time to time, I feel like I need more volume. But I was at the gym, and I don't know if you guys have an iPhone, but if you do, you know that there's a feature that will let you know if you're listening to audio too loudly. And I actually got that warning. So I don't know if it's something going on with my own personal hearing or not, but from time to time, I felt like I wasn't getting enough volume out of these. But don't get me wrong, they are loud enough. I think I may like mine louder. Either that, or I may need to get my ears checked. Okay, how about signal strength? That's another important aspect of earbuds. One way to test that, or one of the best ways to test that, is by throwing your phone in your back pocket, because the signal has to get through your body. And I have to tell you, in doing that, I never had any dropouts, no signal loss, nothing like that. So in my own personal experience, when you connect to your phone, you're gonna have a pretty solid connection. I also set these down in the kitchen and walked around from room to room, so the signal had to travel through walls, and once again, I didn't have any issues at all. Okay, let's talk about that unique feature that I mentioned in the opening. So mifo says you can sleep in these earbuds, right? And I can't imagine anybody ever sleeping in earbuds. Why the heck would you do that? I mean, you know, who would do that? Okay, so the way this works is the earbuds can't be connected to any devices. So you need to turn off the Bluetooth or disconnect the earbuds from all of your devices. And then all you need to do is tap the earbud 3 times, and that'll put them in sleep mode. And basically what you're doing is you're getting the benefit of the active noise cancellation while you sleep. So if you have a partner who is, you know, a snorer or really loud sleeper, or I don't know, you live by a train or something like that and you need some noise cancellation, the mifos, I mean, that's an option for you, okay? Okay, everybody, thanks for watching the video. I do appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted. Thank you for clicking play. And for those of you that are with me to the end, you're the best. You're the best. Until we meet again, be good to somebody, be good to yourself. See you in the next video. Later, y'all.